are you too masculine? There is a huge amount of misconceptions out there in today's society around what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be masculine, what it means to be feminine, because they are not the same thing. Male and female is not masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine is different energies, different actions and behaviors, and they give us different results. And the critical thing here, as I'll pass across to Fee in a second, is that men and women both have masculine and feminine energy, both men and women. So it's not limited to one person. But men in general have, like 90% of men have a core of masculine energy, and 90% of women have a core of feminine energy. But you do get men who have a core of feminine energy and women who have a core of masculine energy. But even when that is the case, it's still very important to understand the differences between both and when and how to use those different energies in the different situations in your life, like whether you're at work, in your relationships. I don't know if you've heard the saying of what works in the boardroom, i.e. at work, does not work in the bedroom, especially when it comes to ladies. So Fee, I'll pass it across to you and you can delve deeper into that topic.
I'm not a very feminine girl. I've known all my life that there was girls that were prettier, they were smaller build, they were those girls, the popular ones. And, so for me, I never really felt very feminine. And I never felt like I fitted the mold of what a girly girl fitted, what that mold was. So for me, subconsciously, I made decisions that, well, I'm not that girl. So what sort of girl can I be? So these go back to childhood patterns. And so for me, I decided subconsciously very early on that because of my birth order and because of my family of origin and my caregivers and everything that was going on in my life, I started to look at who could I be. And, of course, I'm only a little girl. I can't decide that. So I look at what roles in my family have already been taken. And I had two sisters above me. So it definitely influenced who I was going to be in the family. And so I was third. And so two of the roles were taken. So subconsciously, I took on the role of the sporty one, the driven, ambitious, successful. And so I took on those roles and I started to outperform in those areas. And because I got acknowledgement, because I was good at it and people thought, praised me, and I got significance from doing that, I did more and more of that. So those actions that I took as a little girl led me on a path of being fairly detail orientated and big picture focused, as far as like I wanted goals, I wanted to succeed, I wanted to be driven. And so these are all masculine traits. Very often things will happen in your relationship. Maybe you couldn't rely on the person that you married, or maybe you had to be the income earner, or you're a single mum, or there'll be events in your life that shaped you. And maybe you had to start taking on more masculine energy. Maybe you need to be the responsible one, that you needed to earn the income, or you needed to make the decisions, or you needed to rely on yourself. You couldn't use your feminine energy so much, and you started to take on more masculine traits and started to be more linear, more driven, more results focused. And very often this is through necessity, and this is exactly what happened to me. At 21, I had two little kids, and I needed to I made a decision, conscious decision, that I needed to earn the income for our family, and that never again was I going to be poor and have to rely on other people to look after us. And so from that stage, I really stepped out of my inclusive, loving sort of energy, and I went into a more driven, controlled, focused, dedicated energy, because I had to work and I had to earn income and I had to start being driven. That shaped my life. And for a lot of ladies, you're going to see similarities here. So many of the ladies I work with, you had to be that person. You didn't have a partner, or the partner that you had addictions, or was irresponsible, or, wasn't doing their part, and you had to start overcompensating. The thing that happens here is very often when we overcompensate, they undercompensate. The more we do, the more people let us do. The more we get driven, the the more we start to close down our emotions. We don't have time for the inclusive emotions or the fun emotions or the happy emotions. We are too under pressure. We're stressed. We're moving forward at a very strong pace. So we start to shut down and push aside all the things we haven't got time for, and that drives us and gives us a single focus to be able to do what we need to do. And these are all traits that so many women go through, and they become more and more masculine.
Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as being more in your masculine, or do you see yourself being more in your feminine? There's no right answer here, by the way, because we all become the people we become because of our past and because of our childhood and the different things that happen to us. Like even the way that Fiona is now, she may have been, and most likely was, and I can, from past stories, was much more feminine when she was younger. But certain situations happened to her in her life where she got to a point where she made a decision. But something happened in Fiona's, my mum's life, where she made a decision, I'm never going to be out of control again. I have to be in control. And then she started to shift into masculine, shift into being more driven, more focused, and pushed away that side of her, which was more the love and connection side of things. She wanted to have control over her life.